Nearly 1 million years ago, families of Homo erectus huddled in caves, fearing the endless night. Before words or walls, they shared only breath and warmth. In a world ruled by claws and cold, unity itself became their first spark of survival. At Wonderwork Cave in southern Africa, lightning struck dry reeds and set the valley ablaze. The families hid, trembling, yet drawn to its glow. What began as terror soon became awe, the first human curiosity stronger than fear. They learned to keep the spark alive. Twigs fed its hunger, stones framed its breath. Around small hearths, parents and children guarded their fragile light, discovering together that care could master chaos. Each clan chose a keeper of flame. When storms came, embers were wrapped in bark and carried through darkness. This nightly duty tied families in trust, the first unspoken law of cooperation. At Gesher Banat Uakav, 780,000 years ago, families gathered beside the Jordan River. Smoke curled above roasting meat. Laughter echoed off stone. The hearth turned fear into comfort and caves into the first human homes. Cooking changed their bodies and their minds. Softened food freed energy for thought. Shared warmth nurtured bonds beyond hunger. Around each meal, the clan became one, evolution unfolding in flavor, firelight, and affection. Winter once meant silence and death. Now, hidden in caves, families slept through storms beside the flame. Steam rose from drying hides, infants stirred in safety. The fire's hum replaced the wind, the lullaby of survival. The hearth stretched the day. When the sun fell, elders shaped tools and told stories. Children listened, faces glowing amber. Within that circle of light, time itself was conquered, and the night began to belong to them. At Allergsali in Kenya, hunters used burning branches to steer herds toward traps. Fire fought beside them, guiding spears and guarding kin. The clans of the savannah learned that mastery of flame meant mastery of fate. From Africa to Asia, trails of smoke marked migration. In Dmanisi and Zucudian, families rebuilt the same hearths in frozen caves. Fire became the thread of memory weaving continents into one story of light. Sparks taught rhythm and meaning. Crackles echoed like heartbeat. Shadows shaped gestures into words. Around each fire, parents taught children to listen. The first language drawn not on stone, but in sound and flame. Elders showed the young how to shape stone and wood beside the coals. Knowledge passed through hands, not speech. In every movement, they preserved the memory of heat, patience, and purpose. Craft transformed survival into creation. Spears hardened in fire, tools sharpened to precision. Smoke curled through practiced hands. Thought began to leave its mark on matter, the first design of intention. When darkness brought danger, fire stood guard. Lions blinked beyond the glow. Fathers held torches. Mothers drew children near. The hunted had become the keepers of fear, wrapped in warmth and courage. The hearth became a gathering of life. Food, warmth, and laughter merged into custom. Decisions were made beside the flames, where trust grew visible, fire forging the first human community. At dawn, ash marked victory over night. Mothers stirred coals, children fetched twigs, fathers built stones anew. Each sunrise promised that darkness could be overcome again. When glaciers advanced, Homo erectus carried embers through ice-laden winds. Families huddled beneath hides, lighting new hearths under frozen cliffs. Fire became migration's compass, Africa's warmth spreading into the world's cold heart. Wherever they wandered, smoke meant safety. The scent of ash and cooked meat became home itself, a memory of belonging carried across every horizon. Inside each shelter, fire drew the boundary between chaos and calm. Within its circle, families shared food and silence. Beyond it, predators waited. The geometry of safety was born in light and warmth. Guarding the flame became a sacred task. Elders chose who stayed awake, who carried the embers wrapped in bark. Fathers taught sons, mothers taught daughters. Survival turned into inheritance. Their smoke rose into the sky, drifting beyond the hills. It joined clouds, returned as rain, and nourished the plains. They began to see the cycle, that fire was not only survival but balance with the earth. Children gathered close to watch elders strike flint. Sparks flew, lessons began. They learned rhythm, respect, and responsibility. Knowledge was born here, the first school lit not by sun, but by flame. The hearth healed as much as it warmed. Smoke kept insects away, heat sealed wounds, and glowing stones eased pain. Compassion emerged beside endurance, the first medicine shaped by fire. When life ended, they laid their dead near the hearth. Flames flickered softly, guarding both memory and silence. It was the dawn of ritual, warmth offered to the lost and comfort to the living. As children watched sparks rise, imagination awoke. They saw stories in flame and meaning in shadow. Beside the hearth, Homo erectus began to dream, the first sparks of creativity glowing between survival and wonder. Rain no longer stole their light. Families sheltered coals beneath stone and bark, protecting heat through every storm. Control replaced chance, the first defiance of nature's will. Elders retold the story of the first spark. Around every hearth, children listened, eyes shining in reflection. Knowledge passed like flame from hand to hand, keeping memory alive through centuries of devotion. Across Africa and Asia, dawn revealed countless hearths glowing in caves and valleys. Each one carried the same hope, that warmth and unity could outlast the cold. Long after their bones turned to dust, their fires endured. Archaeologists uncover layers of ash and bone, proof that Homo erectus families tamed flame. In every ember, their courage still burns beneath our feet. From one spark, the world awoke. Fire shaped our minds, strengthened our families, and illuminated our path. This glow still burns in every home. To follow the next chapter of humanity's story, subscribe and keep the flame alive.